Hey everybody, so Life Lesson Friday for December 20th, 2024 is focus is power. And this is in pretty much every aspect of every part of life. Not just our lives as human beings, but every part of life. And the simple way to explain this is if you take a magnifying glass, which I used to do as a kid. We did this as a kid all the time. And yeah, because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, I mean, I guess we had an Atari, but like there were limits and there was, what you could do with it. And you only had so many games. And then when I was the second of five kids, then, playing on it was, you had to rotate it around, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, focus is power. You take a magnifying glass, you take it outside, and you let the sun shine through it. And depending on where you hold that magnifying glass to what you're up against, whether it's the ground or a table or a leaf or the car or your body, like whatever you hold, wherever you hold that magnifying glass, it's going to show, a light. And that light is going to either be intense in like a little bitty dot, or it's going to be really big. And if it's really big, it's not very painful. It doesn't do a lot of damage. If it's really small, tiny little focused dot of light, it can light a forest fire. It'll burn your skin. And it's funny because I showed my kids this during COVID when everything was shut down. I was like, hey, come watch this. Let me show you how you do this. Because everything was shut down. But focus is power. And so if you're not getting the results that you want towards your goals, towards your desires, towards whatever you think is going to make you move forward in life, you're not getting the results, tweak where the magnifying glass is. Like adjust the focus. Because chances are, especially in today's world with as much stuff as we've got, chances are you're distracted. Chances are you've got something in the way, right? If you've got that magnifying glass and you're trying to use it to start a fire with a leaf that's on the ground, and you put your hand in between, like if you get it to where it's focused on that leaf and it's just about to start smoking, but you put your hand in between the magnifying glass in the leaf, your hand's probably not going to get burned because the focus is not going to be on your hand. The focus is still pointed towards and directed towards the leaf, but your hand gets in the way and it's distracting the light. So your hand doesn't get burned. The magnifying glass is still in the right place. It's still focused on the right thing. There's just a distraction blocking the leaf. And that's how we go through life a lot of times. We know what the goal is. We actually have the correct plan dialed in. Everything is in the correct position. Everything is monitored perfectly. We are set to go. Things are starting to go. And then something distracts us and gets in the way. And then we don't hit the goal in the time that we wanted to. Doesn't mean we can't hit the goal. It's just, that's what happens. So focus is power. And I talk to my kids about this all the time. Ain't no thing as multitasking. Stop trying to kid yourself. Do you have multiple tasks that are going on at the same time? Sure. But you cannot do multiple things at once and do them well unless they are simply mundane tasks. Like, can you watch a show and wash your dishes at the same time? Sure. Can you listen to a podcast and mow the yard? Sure. You're doing two things at once. But most of the time, neither one of those is something that you're set your goals on. When I listen to a podcast and I'm mowing the yard, I'm listening to a podcast, and when I hear something that's important that I want to take a note of, I stop mowing, I pause the podcast, I pull up my notes, I jot the little note down, and then I go back upon my day so that I can come back to it when I'm focused and rewrite that note down or reread that note and go, this is going to move me forward. I need to make sure that I pay attention to this. So focus is power. And just because you're not moving forward doesn't mean you have the wrong plan. It doesn't mean you have the wrong tools. It might just mean you're distracted. And so if you can focus on what you want, the power to achieve where you want to be can be immense. So that's the Life Lesson Friday for today. Hope you all have a great day as we get ready for my kids to be out of school. I know a lot of kids around the country are going to be out of school around the world for Christmas break, for a holiday break. So I hope that y'all have a great time. If you're traveling this weekend or whenever, be safe and enjoy time with family. And we will be back in touch soon.